Hey, yo, what up, what up? Yeah, you can't believe what happened. We need to turn off the music here. It's a little bit loud, but this music was from one YouTuber that do some Star Citizen stuff, and we liked that sound and we looked it up, and this is absolutely phenomenal. So we have Thursday evening, January 22nd. We want to have a check on, and we see we are still in 4.5. So that means there was no patch drop today, up until now at least. We will see there is an update on the PTU. We don't do that. We don't care. Oh, yeah. So what we want to do today is we have an organization, and we want to do an invitation to our organization. As you may know, we do commodity trading, but that is not the actual reason why we do this. We want to make sure, let's have a check that we have also screen recorded on. We have some difficulties with our computers, and we want to have a check on, and we got an invitation here, inbox. YouTube says we are live, and then we have here. This is interesting, yeah. Out of nowhere, it was Monday, today Thursday, but we saw it today. Cloud Imperium Games says something, and we want to have a check on what they texted us. They say, Cloud Imperium Games player experience team sent you a document to review and sign, okay? And there is a link to review. So when we see something like this, we are a little bit suspicious on that and want to have a check on, is that a spam or whatever, a scam. Here we see EU mail DocuSign.net. Never heard of that, but yeah. But they say via DocuSign, all right. Then we have the logo. We can click here on copy image address and put that into, yeah, it is somewhere on cache on the mail server. Then Cloud Imperium Games player experience team, player experience at Cloud Imperium Games, all right. Greetings, citizen. Okay, they address us with citizen. You are cordially invited to join Evocati Test Flight, ETF, a select group of volunteer testers who have previously demonstrated a knowledge and passion for finding and reporting Star Citizen bugs. Evocati actively participate on issue council and play in our public test universe phases to provide the player experience to our alpha testing and development. Evocati test flight members are invited to closed NDA controlled playtest held on the PTU. Think of these sessions as a pre-PTU phase, okay? Think, yeah, it is not, but we have to think as, comprised of builds with new, raw, and sometimes broken, more broken stuff, and more unfinished content and features that could initially result in a degraded or even completely unplayable user experience. During these Evocati NDA controlled tests, talking about your experiences and the features you are testing publicly is fully okay. But wait, no. Talking about your experience and the features you are testing publicly is fully okay, but streaming or sharing any in-game video, audio, screenshots, counts, game files outside of Evocati is prohibited and may result in removal of Evocati group. Okay, so what do we read here? First of all, yes, we reported some Star Citizen bugs, and we can't recall, but we would say out of those we did, there had been one. Oh, god damn it, we had been muted again. So, oh god damn it, we need to start all over again. We are thinking about how many issues we actually created, and we see here 5. 5 where we contributed. It's not even that we created them, it's just we contributed. And when we go here to my reports, we see nothing. This only one. And we are not the only ones. It's archived already. CIG comment, thanks for your report and contribution for accurate tracking of this. All right. So this is what they did. But when we read here, you are cordially invited to Evocati test, a selected group of volunteer testers who have previously demonstrated the knowledge and passion of finding us report. Yeah, you need to read the commas, and there is no commas. We, according to this mail, we demonstrated a knowledge and passion for finding and reporting citizen bugs. No, we do not report, and the reason is because they don't really care. At least that is our assumption. And yes, we demonstrate knowledge. This is what we do. And we demonstrate a passion. Not necessarily for finding bugs, but for playing Star Citizen. That's why we play Star Citizen. Some sort of a passion. Evocati actively participates in issue council. Yeah, actively. No, we are not active in the issue council. And play in our public test. Yeah. Did you see our previous videos we made from the PTU? Did you see our live stream from PTU? And then they say, think of these sessions as pre-PTU phase. So when when they talk about experience, oh, where is the word? When they talk about experience, how much worse can be an experience in the setting of Star Citizen worse than PTU itself? Pre-PTU? During these Evocati NDA controlled tests, talking about your experiences and the features you are testing publicly is fully okay, but streaming or sharing any in-game audio, video, screenshots, accounts, game files outside of Evocati is prohibited and may result in removal of the Evocati group. If that is the only one punishment, we could try. Important, you will have until January 25th, oh, that is soon, to sign this NDA. Those not signed will be voided at the deadline. I never heard this sentence. We will be processing the org invites after the NDA deadline concludes. Interesting. There are 4 steps you will need to take to join Evocati. So if we Is this an invitation? Yeah, invitation. If we follow the invitation and we join, load the DocuSign NDA link provided in this mail, edit the personal information in the fields provided and digitally sign, submit the signed NDA form. After submitting, make sure you have org invites enabled and wait for Evocati org in Spectrum. Okay. Note, please enable org invitations and make sure you are not in too many organizations. Oh, you have to be somewhat of a privileged one. So what are we doing? Huh? What are we doing? We're thinking about, first of all, we are somewhat honeycombed. Is that the word? Honeycombed, that they consider us to be part of this Evocati test group. And so we are teased to actually want to sign these NDA stuff just because we are curious. Yeah, it's not the intent to be actively participating in the issue console. No. We don't care about the issue console, not at all. But we are curious, what will we see when we just dip into this Evocati test group. That means we will be probably one of the first groups who sees the initial test stuff before it comes to PTU. And we have no problem, in general, we have no problem with the unfinished content. Yeah, we have absolutely no problem with the unfinished content and features. That is not the thing. What we have problem is with this. I mean, we do not need to go to Evocati PTU, pre-PTU, in order to find out what stuff does work and what doesn't. We can go to PU and we still have stuff that goes on. Now, some people would claim, yeah, well, the Evocati people are those who didn't make sure that these bugs had been reported in order to make it fixing. But that's not the case, because there's also a PTU, so everybody can test stuff out and report. And there are plenty of issue console stuff. Look at that. We will have a look in here. When we go here, dashboard, there is 1,622 out of 5 million players. FCM Hornet, missing standard center turret. Okay. Do we see a number? Do we see a number? Probably not, but we need to scroll. And once we're at the bottom, so 101 pages multiplied with 50. What is this? 5,000 new reports opened. Let's see, confirmed under investigation. Show more. Still 50 multiplied with the paging. So much, so many, we can't even see how many. Do we need to scroll in or out? Yeah, we have no information how many pages there are. Maybe we can... Yeah, paging is miserably. This is supposed to be the latest, greatest new stuff. Doesn't really matter. You get the point. There are a lot of broken stuff, a lot of issues, and we do not need to go into single ones because there are a lot of irrelevant issues marked here. Not those that we just see, but there are issues that absolutely are not relevant. Yeah, and the punishment is we can get kicked out of the avocado group. And yeah, well, then the question is, can we show you what's written in the NDA? Because maybe you want to be part of the NDA and don't know what you need to do. So first of all, there is a guy, we assume, called Wikipedia. You find him in Spectrum, and you find him also on Issue Council. Spectrum will be the address. We can say, please read the electronic record and signature disclosure. And yeah, let's go. This is official stuff, no problem. Agreement to do business with Cloud Imperium Games Limited. Yeah, doing business means commerce. And if you fail, you will be punished under the law of commerce. You need to comprehend if you signed this paper. Electronic record and signature disclosure. From time to time, Cloud Imperium Games Limited, we as company, may be required by law to provide to you certain written notices to or disclosures. Described below are the terms and conditions for providing to use such notices and disclosures. Blah, blah, blah. Please read the information below carefully and thorough. This is what we do. And if you can access this information electronically, to your satisfaction, agree this electronic record and signature disclosure, please confirm your agreement by selecting the checkbox next to I agree to use electronic records before clicking continue within the DocuSign system. So we have a system, we have a party on the other side of the commerce. The DocuSign is the platform where the paper lies in. And we now talking about the paper, getting paper. Yeah, this is the great thing about the British people, or yeah, the UK people. They know, yeah, I mean, they are the law of the water. They know how to do proper. They know how to do proper commerce. That's why they raise $1 billion IRL for virtual spaceships primarily. At any time, you may request from us a paper copy of any record provided or made available electronically to you by us. You will have, by us. This is what Trump used to say, probably in his first terms. You will have the ability to download and print documents we send to you through the document system during and immediately after the signing session. And if you elect to create a DocuSign account, you may access the documents for a limited period of usually 30 days. After such documents are first sent to you, after such time you wish withdrawing your consent. This is really, really important when it comes to the fictional law. You do not consent. Repeat that every single time you encounter a police officer. If you decide to receive notices and disclosures from us electronically, you may at any time change your mind and tell us thereafter you want to receive required notice and disclosure only in paper format. How you must inform us is okay. Consequences of changing your mind. Oh, we need to read properly. Decisions, receive future notice and disclosure in paper format and withdraw your consent to receive notice disclosure electronically. So reading this, it's only about paper electronically. Paper or electronically. We can withdraw our consent that they deliver is electronically. And with that withdrawing, they need to send papers. physical papers. The consequences of changing your mind, if you elect to receive required notice only in paper format, it will slow the speed at which we can complete certain steps and transitions with you and delivering services to you, because we will need first to send the required notice. Yeah, all good. All notices and disclosures will be sent you electronically unless you tell us otherwise. In accordance with the procedures described herein, we will provide electronically to you through the DocuSign system all required notices, disclosures, authorizations, acknowledgements, and other documents that are required to be provided or made available to you during this course of relationship with you, to reduce the chance of you inadvertently receiving disclosure, blah blah. It's only about the messaging, how to contact. Yeah, that's why I say they know how to set up commerce contracts, how to contact Cloud Imperium Games Limited. You may contact us to let us know of your changes as to how we may contact you electronically to request paper, blah blah blah. There is a specific name, all right. Then to advise Cloud Imperium Games Limited of your new email address, to let us know of a change in your email address where you would send notices and disclosure electronically, blah blah blah. Let him know. Okay. If you created a DocuSign account, you may update it with your new email address through your account preferences. Not necessarily, but you can. To request paper copies, we don't do that, because if we want to do that, they need to have our full name, our email address. Okay, they already have it. A mailing address, the physical post address is that, and the phone number. By now, we have fake information there, so no traceability. The only traceability is throughout the IP address, and that is pretty much accurate. 50 meters, depending on what services you use, you can locate our location based on our IP address, more or less 50 up to 100 meters. To withdraw your consent with Cloud Imperium Games Limited. Yeah, to withdraw your consent. Completely disagree and stop doing what we want to do here. To inform us that you no longer wish to receive future notice, disclosure, letter. No matter what. Absolutely no informations, no notices, no disclosures. I decline to sign a document from within your signing session, blah blah. I send us an email to, and the body of such request you must state that your full name, and we don't need any information from you to withdraw the consent. The consequences of your withdrawing consent for online documents will be that transactions may take a longer time process. Required hardware and software. Minimum system required are in this. This is the requirements for this document stuff. Acknowledging your access and consent to receive and sign documents electronically. This is only that. So by now we have absolutely nothing when it comes to getting kicked out of Avocado Group. So we will download and store this stuff. It's an HTML file. The fuck. To store so that we know what we agreed on, or let's say read. Whenever they do change onto the agreement to do business with Cloud Imperium Games, then we can say we agreed on what we just downloaded and stored with us. If you do any change with that, we do not consent to the changes you made. That is why we do that. And so now this was what is in the mail. We read the, so you now see we do that stuff seriously. We read the stuff. We read the stuff when they say acknowledge, whatnot. So we say agree to use electronic records. Up until now, nothing happens. Other options. It's okay. Continue. All right. So now we need to read pretty fast if there is already any information about us, or anything we can disclose for us, to us. Yeah, at the very end, there is our email address So we need to be a little bit careful. So what is the confidentiality agreement? If you want to become an avocado test flight, or just the first two words, the undersigned, you or tester, your real name, residing at, physical address, yeah, that is a no-go. We will not sign this paper. Hereby agree as follows. Reference is made to the end user agreement and terms of services posted on the date. That means kicking us out of Avocado Group is just because of. But reference to the end user group, that also means they can terminate our account. And that is another reason why we cannot sign to this NDA stuff. You hereby expressly confirm that that you have read and agreed to the terms of EULA and TOS. You may see, maybe you find a YouTube video on our YouTube channel where we actually read the EULA and the TOS. All capitalized terms, this is absolute relevant, herein shall have the meaning as defined in TOS and or the EULA, unless defined separately herein. In consideration of RSI, not RSII, granting early access to the Evocati materials as defined in paragraph 3 that will follow, you hereby agree to become a tester, in quotes, as referred in Sec Roman, but is an RSI Evocati test program. This agreement constitutes the confidentiality agreement referred in sec blah blah. Confidentiality. You understand, yeah? To understand. To stand under. Understand. To understand. You see, the translation, even if you don't understand German, maybe we need to say so. To stand under, verstehen. Understand, do you understand, verstehen. To understand, verstehen. But to stand under, unterstehen. And that means you stand under whatever here is. So they look from above down to you. You understand. If we understand, we stand under whatever we read now. That pursuant to section blah blah, a breach of this confidentiality agreement constitutes a breach of TOS and may result in disciplinary action against your account. Ta-da! You further agree that the breach of any of the above obligations will cause irreparable harm to RSI. RSI is entitled to, in addition to any other remedies available to it, ex parte injunctive relief without bond. Relief without bond. In life and on earth, we would be happy to have that on anything. To prevent the breach or threatened breach of obligations on the confidentiality agreement to TOS and EULA, your obligation to keep the Evocati materials confidential will continue until such time and to the extent that RSI makes such materials publicly available. So as long as it's still in Evocati pre-PTU, we cannot show. But as soon as it's on the very last PTU patch, or at least in PU, then we can show it. You further acknowledge and agree to the following terms and conditions. Your participation in Evocati shall be solely for the purpose of identifying program errors and to provide feedback and suggestions regarding your experiences to RSI while reviewing, evaluating Evocati materials. So what can we agree on? We can agree on suggestions regarding your experience. That is something that we could agree. Review and evaluating Evocati material. Yeah, if it's related to commodity trading, yes, we could. Everything else we are not interested in. You specifically acknowledge and agree that you understand the nature. Okay, that is no problem. That is something what we do every day. That you may experience bugs, crashes, and the like. Yeah, of course, we have that. We have that in PU. You agree that while your participation involves providing feedback, you agree that while your participation involves providing feedback, reporting, and data to RSI, all game design decisions lie within the sole discretion of course, it's their program, it's their project, they can do whatever they want. And the participation on Evocati confers no control or authority over RSI. So don't be ignorant and think that you can make decisions just because you can report your experience. That is not the case, and that is something that they state here. You agree not to manufacture, distribute, or engage in any commercial use or otherwise exploit any product incorporating any content or assets from Evocati material. Yeah, this is important, Evocati material. This confidentiality agreement grants no right, privileges, license, or permissions to use or make derivative works from any other property of ours, including any IP. This is interesting, yeah? They list all there is, what to agree on. The rights, privileges, license, permissions. Really, really interesting. They know how to make. You agree not to manufacture. Yeah, this is what we did. You agree not to use the Evocati material or any other intellectual property owned by RSI for its affiliates, or your participation in Evocati in any manner that violates this confidential, may disparage RSI or any of its affiliates, or the licensed IP or any other primary brand, valid scope, goodwill, or now. You acknowledge that this confidentiality in no way implies sponsorship or certification by RSI or of you, and that you may not hold yourself out of represent yourself as an employee. Yeah, totally agree on that. You understand. Yeah, this is interesting. Your participation. You understand. You agree. You acknowledge. You understand. Evocati is rolled out to limited numbers of Evocati participants at a time, and the RSI reserves the right to allocate, deallocate, and select different numbers and different subgroups of testers to suit the needs and circumstances of each test run. It is sole judgment and discretion. Priority. In the case of any conflict between the provisions of this confidentiality agreement and the task, the terms within the confidentiality termination, RSI shall be entitled to revoke or terminate this agreement at any time. So the agreement between them and us will be terminated. But they say RSI shall be entitled to. Really, really interesting. They have what we would say, we will say that the RSI people or CIG people have very, very good lawyers. Very, very good lawyers. Shall be entitled an agreement, reason gain notice via email, denial of access to ever. Yeah, we don't care about Evocati materials. Upon the termination of this confidential, we shall immediately cease to use the avocado. Okay, no problem. Wait. Upon the termination of this confidentiality agreement, you shall immediately cease to use the avocado material and delete it from your computers and any storage. Paragraph 3 hereof will survive termination, remain accepted. Is this number 3? So what is the point here? What do you sign if you sign this paper with? They have, based on law of commerce, the right to send the police to your home if they have any suspicion that you have still avocado material on your computer or any storage at your given address. That is what that part states. And you know how the polices work. Yeah. Police officer, police of ice. They will breach your door if they have the suspicious that you have still avocado material. And with the signing of this paper, even if it's digital, you give them the right to breach your door if they no, first of all, you need to breach. You need to basically break this confidentiality agreement, and then they send the weaponized mafia with uniform. Failure by RSI to enforce any provision of this confidentiality agreement shall not constitute a waiver of any term hereof. What is a waiver? Okay. A waiver given on any one occasion is effectively only in that instance and will not be construed as a waiver of any right on any other occasion. So that's just a one-time. If any provision of this confidentiality shall be held by a court of competent if any provision of this confidentiality agreement shall be held by a court of competent jurisdiction to be illegal, invalid, or unenforceable, the remaining provision shall remain in full force and effect. Yeah, that's what we just said before. All notices pursuant to this agreement may be delivered electronically via email to the email addresses indicating herein. So if they come and breach your door, they will let you know upfront. Any amendments to this agreement or any waiver or stipulation pursuant hereto must be in writing and signed on behalf of each party. Evocati. Do not stream or share NDA built game files, accounts, screenshots, game, audio, video outside of Evocati. Talking about what is in the build, your experience and features you are testing publicly is full okay. Talking is okay. Showing is not okay. Do not PvP or other Evocati. Yeah. Do not PvP or other Evocati members during Evocati PTU phases unless fully agreed beforehand and in a special CIG playtest that requires it or in Arena Commander modes that were designed for it. Read the patch playtest notes. Nah. Keep an eye on Spectrum and keep your account in good standing. What does that mean? Spend more money or what? Suspensions from Spectrum or Starset itself will require us to remove you from Evocati. Yeah, they basically set up terms. No, well, I'll read it finished. Keep it civil. Keep it civil. Civil law pertaining the internal affairs of a state, relating to society, pertaining public life, relating civic order. Popular, okay. Keep it civil. Testers in-game and out. No arguing or direct attacks at someone. There's no requirement for how much or how often you play. Ooh. Ooh. That is interesting. So that is just rando. Just rando. Maybe someone noted that we do commodity trading. If you watch our YouTube channel, if you go there and see here videos, okay, here new contracts, PTU, looting stuff, commodity. We don't have much videos, but most of the time it's commodity trading and basically only commodity trading. So our test time is not the trigger why they sent us. The amount of issue console tickets we created or contributed is too low. It looks like as if we just have been selected randomly. Yeah, we need to think about, do we actually, because we are curious, yeah, we are absolutely curious. But here we can say we have an organization, the organization called No Man's Scrap. And what are we doing? Yeah, we do not do much. Well, we need to talk about we need to talk to our boss. He need to update this page. There is on the page under construction. Please check soon. Yeah, whatever soon is. Soon. TM. Responsible for your own thoughts. Responsible for your own feelings. Responsible for your own actions. Are you willing to take the responsibility on a regular basis? Please leave your social handle in the application. Looking forward to engage together. So how can you, I mean, we are admin, so, but how can you engage? No idea how that works. But you see, transport, yeah, what do we transport? Resources. And yeah, you can say an organization, casual roleplay. We are somewhat of roleplay, and we do not have many members, to be honest. So that's why this is an invitation. No matter what about the NDA, you can add us, you can contact us. You see us basically all the time. Yeah, contact us. You can reach out through Spectrum or is our organization page. Add us, request us, and we'll take care of the rest. Means we will text you. We want to know who you are before we accept your application, and then we are good to go. Yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.